relax, and enjoy another resin crafting with Chris Collected. Today's episode, I'm going to finish up my summer bod from the previous episode and do this lovely dish. This is from Let's Resin. I got it for Christmas from my family, and I wanted to make a little Kawaii office supply, so it's going to be super cute. First up, we got to put some resin in there. This is Resiner's 2-part epoxy resin that I will be using my max 400 milliliters. Next up, I'm going to put part A in. And then afterwards, it's got to get mixed up. Chugga, it slowly fills up. Now that it's all filled up, I'm going to go ahead and get it all mixed together. I have 2 different ones, so I need my dual head mixer. Let's get up and close and see how that's looking. As you can see, it's spinning really well. And I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my supplies ready. I got some new pigment I'm trying out today, so make sure to stay tuned and you'll see all the cool stuff I'm using. Now I'm going to put it into a machine and get all those bubbles I just put into it out of it. That resin flow. Now I'm going to put it in the Resiner's bubble removing machine. And approximately 10 minutes later, I'll have a bubble-free resin. That pressure and get that resin going. I love that shot. I'm going to see it again. Now I'm going to add a bunch of fixins in. Make this resin all kinds of colorful. First up, I have some new powders from How Pigments. This is a pearl blue. I decided to put a whole bunch into both of these ones, so they're going to be super dark. Next one is Aztec Gold. These are both pearl pigments. So they have some shine to them, but also the base color as well. I love that they ship them so flat like this. I don't know how they did it. They took all the air out of the package and had all that powder in there. Well, you'll be seeing a lot more colors from me, because I got a whole new package, about 20 of them. And of course, one of my favorites is this reflective bits that are like just long, like about centimeter long little pieces. And I just chugged a bunch of them in there. And this one is little flowers and butterflies, all kinds of cute little things. Stars and sakura flowers. That's going to be in the gold one. And finally, I have a red and black glitter. I figured I just want to add a little extra sparkle to this project. And put that one in the gold one as well. Now I'm going to stir them up. And try not to add any new bubbles in. So I start slow, make sure the powder doesn't get out of there. And then I go back and forth, clockwise and counterclockwise. And then even diagonals and all kind of thing, make sure it's nice and fully mixed in there. For this one, because I put so much powder in, I realized later I actually should have grabbed another tool and done it again. Make sure I got all that powder out, because a little bit of the powder didn't mix in. I think I just put too much, to be honest. But I was so excited to make something really dark. Next up, the Aztec Gold. And look at that color, it's so rich and dark. Now take a look at all this amazing resin that I made. You know what time it is? It's time to pour. This is Resin Art Improved, the home of the split screen resin pour. First up, I'm gonna get this big Let's Resin dish. The concept I went for here is very simple. I want to pour a bunch of the gold in, then I'm going to pour the blue directly onto it, and it's going to push the gold to the bottom, and then wait till the demolding. You're going to see what happens, and I'm telling you, it's amazing, amazing. The gold and the blue interact, and it freezes as it hardens, and you just see this beautiful interaction between these two colors. For now, I'm slowly going to fill up this whole bowl. Nice and steady. I didn't want it to force it. I wanted it to go nice and slow. As you can see, some parts are a little more gold and some are a little more blue. As you can see on the right camera, the cup has a little bit of pigment in, so I should have mixed it a little bit more, but I'm super happy with the results. All right, look at that, the perfect amount. I totally guessed on how much of that Aztec gold I needed to put in there. I was like, I want roughly about an inch of it, and then the rest of it to be blue, and I know it's gonna just interact with it the whole time and interchange. It's gonna look so good. But it was so heavy, I decided I'm just gonna turn this thing around instead of actually moving it. So now, let's go ahead and get that butt done. Oh, what? Holy crap, what just happened? Okay, so I'm trying to just, pour some resin, you know how it is, and out of nowhere, I end up knocking over my gold. So I was gonna start a dish as well, one of my resin trays. I've done that a bunch of times, and I'm like, heck yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And unfortunately, we will not be getting a resin tray, and one of my favorite microfiber towels did get ruined, because you cannot take resin out of fabric. It hardens. So now, back to the regularly scheduled program. And finally, a Star Wars type helmet. Not sure if it's First Order or Stormtrooper. Put in the comments below after you see the demolding and you tell me what it is. And I had a tiny bit left over that I was going to make into a resin tray, but I did not have, obviously with the accident, whoopsies, I didn't have enough. And so I just grabbed the rest of it, threw it into this little seashell mold, and we'll go ahead and finish the seashell mold next week. But for now, we're going to skip forward 24 hours and go to the demolding. Remember, this is Resin Art Improved. Trust in yourself, honor yourself and others, and create a world that is safer for everyone. Time to demold. First up, I'm going to do the Stormtrooper head. This is what I think it is, but if you think it's Force Order, hey, put it in the comments below and tell me. Looks awesome. As you can see, super solid. The color's amazing on it. I see why they call it Aztec gold, because it really does look like crude gold. Looks amazing. Now, let's look at this seashell. I'm going to not demold this one, and I'll finish that next week. But this is the one that we started last week. This is one of my summer bodies with his new golden glutes. I'm just going to use soapy water to get him out. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but not too hard to actually demold this one. I just had a little problem with my spray bottle there. There we go. Now that water's actually coming out of that thing, it wasn't too hard to do. Bloop. There we go. And of course, clean it with one of my microfiber towels. RIP to the one that I ruined in this video. I'll make a new Grogu one, and I'll have one in a future video. But for now, here's one of my flower ones. But let's look at the actual thing we came here for, resin. As you can see, the blue from last week has tons of color in it, and then his golden glutes are ready for the runway. So good looking, so super cute. It's going to be just a little desk toy, just something to have on your desk. Just to, you know, give me goals to go back to the gym. I've only been going about 3 times a week, and I need to do at least 5. I mean, that's the summer bod that I'm looking for, huh? Now, for the big piece, and I'm so glad this piece turned out exactly how I wanted. So I'm gonna break that seal on the back and try to get a little bit of water in there, and this was actually, overall, a pretty easy demold. What I realized is it had a nice tight seal there, so I have to move this little thing all the way around. Get a little bit more water in there, so therefore it won't re-stick. On both sides. And now the demold should be no problem. If I was going to give any complaint about this, I would say I would love the walls of the bowl to be, I mean, I would say maybe double their current thickness, but I understand that that might end up switching up to deep pour resin instead of the normal type of resin. So I understand the, might have been a restraint of the actual product. Because it looks a little thin, but overall with resin, it does harden up into a solid plastic. And so, man, it's going to end up working out no problem. And as you can see, look at that gold. It looks like it's just dripping down. But we know that it actually was poured upside down and interchanged. And the colors just stayed, so you see most of that gold, most of that blue still there. Man, it looks good. Let's take a closer look at it. It did exactly, I mean, look at that. Just did exactly what I wanted. And then that blue was that solid base. Just so shiny. So shiny. All that glitter, all that stuff in there. Just turned out perfect. All right, everyone. My name is Chris Collected. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and it was super relaxing to watch this video, and feel free to watch some more later. Thank y'all so much. See you next time. Bye.